Hello viewers, this is Tim Axel from Scooby Doo, bringing my 564 podcast. This is my 564 podcast. Like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to preach hard during this audio podcast recording, as well, not to cause any audio feedback. Try not to cause any audio feedback as well. And also, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Now, if you're over 18, that means you're good to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, with this and everything else out of the way, let's get into the topic. Recently, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s have came to the end. So basically, the 7th Yu-Gi-Oh! Series called Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s has ended. I gotta say, I'm kind of on the fence about what I really think about this series. But the thing that but I gotta say, it's not bad. This was not bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. It's I think they went through a different approach to the series. Tried to make it a more lighthearted series. And that's not bad. And that's I understand they wanted to go to a more kid-friendly, kid-friendly Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and they lighthearted. But the thing that really surprised me about this series is it's kind of short. Usually a Yu-Gi-Oh! Series at least at least ends around 130 episodes. This is ended on 2 episodes. So basically, when I mean this, I feel like the series the series kind of ended short, in terms of episodes. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's ended with 92 episodes. And the average Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, its least overall, ends at 130 episodes at the most. That's pretty much an average of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Usually they always end around 130 episodes at the most. So basically, this really surprised me. And also, it seems like this turns out the next series is going to be a sequel to 7. So basically, that's also surprising to me. But anyway, let me get into the rest of the series. I gotta say, the things I really liked about this is that the main protagonist didn't have any supernatural being or magic being or creature or type of weird item or with a magic creature or whatnot. So basically, this series did stay this year. So basically, there's no supernatural or any creature or being helping out the protagonist when he do. So basically, I really liked that because honestly, I feel like we needed a break from that. So basically, I'm glad that that Yuga, the protagonist for 7, didn't have any supernatural being or creature or didn't help him help him win duels and whatnot. I'm glad they took a break for that. Also, I'm kind of glad that they also took a break for from the usual villain formula, the usual bad guy formula. So basically, bad guy wants to take over the world through duel monsters and whatnot. I'm glad they took a break from that as well. So basically, almost every Yu-Gi-Oh series, there's always a villain who wants to take over the world, or destroy the world through dual monsters. So basically, I'm glad that there was no villain, there was no any bad guys that wants to destroy the world, or destroy the world, or take over the world through their monsters. So basically, they took a break from that too. So basically, they just took a break from the usual Yu-Gi-Oh formula. That's not a bad thing, but I would say, but the main thing I do, the main thing I really like about the series is this series shows how people are dealing with change and accepting dealing with and accepting change in the whole dueling format that you made with the West Duel. So basically, people thought Yuga's West Duel format was just didn't want to. Didn't know how to deal with Yuga's West Dueling format, and thought Yuga was, should have been messing with it. But over time, we see people come around and this new dueling format is not bad. So basically, this whole Yu-Gi-Oh series usually all Yu-Gi-Oh series has ongoing message. Usually that ongoing message is, learning how to deal with and accepting changes. So basically, every Yu-Gi-Oh series, we see the characters go through, every Yu-Gi-Oh series, we see characters go through changes, throughout the whole series. Every Yu-Gi-Oh series, we see every Yu-Gi-Oh series from the original and up to now, we see the characters go through changes. So basically, that's always been a major message in Yu-Gi-Oh. So basically, sometimes people can't deal with change, and sometimes they can, turn it, either turn the change into a good thing or a bad thing. So that's been the main message there. But also, I'd say that the characters were good. There were some good character developments in there. But the main thing is that the protagonist was okay. Like all the past protagonists I really liked, but Yuga was was okay. I felt he wasn't driven to, he wasn't really driven to improve his dueling skills, to become the best duelist. Usually, it wasn't driven to improve his dueling skills. So basically, Yuka was only driven by these things. One, to show, to improve his West Duel format. The other was to have fun, to show everybody else that that his West Duel format was fun for everybody, and the other was just to have fun doing. So basically, Yuga does have good points that drive him to do in the first place. But I felt like he was just mostly focused on proving that his dueling format is better than the original format. So basically, that's not. And also, we didn't really, honestly, we didn't really have a serious. We didn't have a real serious. We didn't have a real serious rival for Yuga. I know that everybody said that Neo was supposed to be his rival, but that didn't really turn out that way. So basically, I know that Yuga and Luke was, had the rivalry with them, but that was pretty much a friendly rivalry. That was a friendly, that's just a rivalry between friends. There was no rival. There was like no rival like Kaiba that wants to take Yugi down, like I want to destroy you type of rival. And also it didn't the series did lack a villain that wants to that really like a serious villain that thinks that that really wants to destroy the Western format. Like most of the people like who try to take down Yuga's Western format was pretty much was kind of scared of the change and was kind of scared of trying this new format out, and it was kind of scared that that kind of scared, like they was kind of scared of this Western format, and it was just so used of the original dueling format. And also, I feel like when Maximum Summon started to when Maximum Monster started to showed up, they was kind of pushed. There was kind of pushed towards the end. Maximum monsters were kind of pushed to the side for fusion monsters instead. So basically, usually in a new series, in any Yu-Gi-Oh series, they focus on the new summoning, the new summoning gimmick. So basically, when the Maximum Monsters came out, started to appear in the series, everything like halfway into the series, it's like they started to get pushed to side for fusion monsters instead. So basically, I felt like when they debuted the Maximum Monsters, it should have been throughout the series and towards the end. These Maximum Monsters should have been featured throughout the remainder of the series and not be pushed aside for fusion monsters. So basically, I hope that I hope we get to see more speed. Like we only saw like 9 Maximum Monsters throughout the series, and we see throughout once they introduce fusion into the series, we got at least like 13 different fusion monsters throughout the series as well. So basically, I felt like they had a good thing with the Maximum Monsters, but it just got pushed to the side for fusion monsters instead. So basically, I do like the duels in this series, but I just felt like I felt like the plot could have been a bit, the whole part was about everybody trying to get rid of Yura and his Western format programming, and they just wanted to go back to normal doing. So basically, the only problems I have about this is it wasn't any serious rival that wanted to take down Yuga, like a serious rival that hated Yuga, like a rival who doesn't like Yuga. I wish there was a rival for Yuga that hated him and wanted to get rid of him. Also, I wish there was a villain, when they did get a villain for the series, it did lack a villain for the series, and throughout this whole series, it did lack a villain, but when they did got a villain, when they finally did got a villain, a main bad guy, a main bad guy, he was kind of pushed to the side, just like the Maximum, summoning monsters. So basically, they had a good bit, when they finally got a good bad guy, villain, he was kind of pushed to the side, just like the Maximum monsters, just like the Maximum summoning monsters and whatnot in the series. But I'm not saying that this series is bad and all, but it was just good. I just thought that it did lack in some part, but otherwise, it was a good series. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? About Yu-Gi-Oh! About the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 series. Was it good, bad, or just okay, or just nah? Please let me know with the comments below. Anyway, this is Tim Michael signing off. And by the way, if you're wondering with the hissing sound in the background, that's just my radiator. Just let you guys know with the hissing sound in the background, that's just my radiator. So anyway, signing off. One.